Hey guys, and welcome back to another video on sports television. As always, leave a like, subscribe, watch some of my previous videos if you want to. It really helps me produce good content and really helps me get feedback on what you guys think. So for today, as you know, I'll be ranking all of the quarterbacks for 2020. And I'll be ranking them on these scales: elite, Pro Bowl, playoff caliber, solid options, below average, terrible, and unproven. Unproven are for rookies or second year quarterbacks that we saw a little bit of, but we still don't know fully how good they're going to be. So the quarterbacks we'll be doing is Jimmy Garoppolo, Teddy Bridgewater, Aaron Rodgers, Dwayne Haskins, Devlin Hodges, Kirk Cousins, Philip Rivers, Mason Rudolph, Baker Mayfield, Nick Foles, Tom Brady, Jameis Winston, Eli Manning, Drew Lock, Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, Jared Goff, Jacoby Brissett, Kyler Murray, Ryan Tannehill, Carson Wentz, Josh Allen, Matt Ryan, Cam Newton, Danny Jones, Dak Prescott, Mitch Trubisky, Derek Carr, Ben Roethlisberger, Drew Brees, Kyle Allen, Joe Flacco, Deshaun Watson, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Matthew Stafford, Sam Darnold, Gardner Minshew, Lamar Jackson, Case Keenum, and Marcus Mariota. Okay, so let's first start with Jimmy Garoppolo. I think I'm going to put Jimmy Garoppolo as a playoff caliber quarterback. He led the San Francisco 49ers to the Super Bowl, so I think he is a playoff caliber quarterback. I think he can be a Pro Bowler in the future, but I think he needs to see improvement. Next, I have I think I'm going to put Teddy Bridgewater as a solid option for the Saints. He went 5-0, did really well for them, and helped them without Brees. I think he's going to be a solid option. And I really think that he's going to be a good player and could possibly be a playoff caliber quarterback. But for now, I put him at a solid option. Next, we got Aaron Rodgers. I'm going to put Aaron Rodgers as an elite quarterback right now in the NFL. Super Bowl winner. They consistently make the playoffs when he's healthy. I think he's a good quarterback. I think he is elite. Next, we have Dwayne Haskins. Now, I was debating between putting Dwayne in the below average or unproven. I'm going to put him in the unproven category. I think he's going to start for the Redskins next year, and I feel like after that season, we will truly know if he's a solid playoff caliber or below average quarterback. But I'm going to put him in the unproven section. Next, we have Devlin Hodges. I'm going to put Devlin Hodges as a below average quarterback. Now, he seems incredibly inconsistent when he was playing with the Steelers. He led them to victories, led them to terrible losses. He and Mason Rudolph tried to share time. It got really crazy in Pittsburgh because Ben Roethlisberger got hurt. But Devlin Hodges is a below average quarterback. Next, we have Kirk Cousins. I'm going to put him as a playoff caliber quarterback. Led the Vikings to the playoffs. He won his first playoff game. So I think he's a playoff caliber quarterback who I think really proved himself last year. Next, we have Philip Rivers. Put Philip Rivers as a solid option. Maybe 2 years ago, I would have put him as a Pro Bowl or playoff caliber. But I think he's gotten a little old, and I think that he's now a solid option. So I think he's going to be a solid option for whatever team he lands on. I'm going to put him in the solid options along with Teddy Bridgewater. Next, I have Mason Rudolph. Mason Rudolph's going to be going into the terrible category. I think he's terrible yet unproven, but I'm going to put him in the terrible. We saw what he had to offer. Not a lot. Was terrible with the Steelers. Incredibly inconsistent. I think Devlin Hodges gets the edge on him because I don't want to put them both in terrible. I think Devlin Hodges played better than Mason Rudolph, which is interesting. Devlin Hodges undrafted. Mason Rudolph second round, so that's where I'm going to put them. Next, we have Baker Mayfield. I'm going to put Baker Mayfield as a solid option. I think that he is... last year he was considered a playoff caliber quarterback. I think this year he took a recession, solid option. I still think he's unproven though, but I'm going to put him in solid option. I think he could get to a Pro Bowl or playoff caliber quarterback. Okay, next we have Nick Foles. I'm going to put Nick Foles as... I'm going to put him as a solid option. Did well for the Eagles in the Super Bowl. Last year got hurt. I think he's going to come back this year and be a solid, option. for whatever team he plays on. So I think he's average right now in the league. I think he could get up to playoff caliber. I think he could go down to below average or terrible, but I'm going to put him in solid options. Next, we have Tom Brady. I'm not going to put Tom Brady in elite. I'm going to judge them on right now, not their whole career. I'm going to put Tom Brady as a solid option for the Buccaneers. If he's surrounded by talent, I think Tom Brady will thrive. When he was with the Patriots, he was not surrounded with talent, so I think that's why he struggled a lot. So I'm going to put him as a solid option. 3 years ago, he would definitely be an elite quarterback, but right now he is a solid option. Next, we have Jameis Winston. He is going to go in the below average category. Led the league in interceptions. Did lead them in passing yards, but because he threw so many interceptions, really hurt the Buccaneers game after game. I still think he is a below average quarterback, but I think he could move into the solid options, but he has to fix his interceptions problem. Next, we have Eli Manning. He retired, but if he were to be playing next season, I would be putting him at the below average quarterback, along with Jameis Winston, Devin Hodges. In his prime, he was a Pro Bowl, maybe even borderline elite quarterback, but I think below average is where he belongs. Next, we have Case Keenum. He's also going to be in the below average. Did well for the Vikings, but when he's had to carry the Redskins, he could not perform well, which shows that the Vikings carried him, not vice versa. So I think that Case Keenum, good guy. I think he's below average quarterback, though. Next, we have Sam Darnold. I'm going to put Sam Darnold as a below average quarterback right now. I feel like he hasn't really thrived as the Jets quarterback. I think he has a lot of solid people around him. Le'Veon Bell as a running back. He had Robbie Anderson as a wide receiver, but he just couldn't create anything. I think this is his last year, or second to last year. He needs to get something done, or else the Jets will be drafting another quarterback. I think he's a below average quarterback. Could move up to solid options or playoff caliber, but right now I believe he's a below average. Next, we have Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford, I think, is actually a solid option. His team's been terrible. They've done a poor job drafting good players around him. I think he is a solid options quarterback, though. And I think if he would be surrounded with better talent, much like Tom Brady, he would thrive, and I think he could possibly lead a team to the playoffs. So next we have Joe Flacco. I'm going to put Joe Flacco as terrible. In his prime, I think he was a playoff caliber, borderline Pro Bowl player. But when he played with the Ravens, I put him as solid or below average. I think he's just terrible now. Not a good quarterback, just taking up space. Refuses to help rookie quarterbacks. When he was on the Ravens, he refused to help Lamar Jackson, sulking on the sidelines. I think he is a terrible quarterback. He should retire, but we'll see. Next, we have Kyle Allen. Really emerged from the Panthers after Cam Newton's injury and really led him on a hot run, but then kind of died later in the season. I think that right now he is an unproven quarterback. I think that if the Panthers give him another season, I think he could really thrive and be a solid option. But I could also see a recession in him being a below-average quarterback. But right now he's unproven. I think he can go one or two ways, but we'll see. Next, we have Derek Carr, been in the league a lot, has had one good year, but is just incredibly inconsistent. He is going to be a below-average quarterback. I listed him as the Raiders' top offensive player, but I did that because I believe that he is key to their team. If he's a solid option, I think they could be a playoff team. If he's below average, they're just going to be mediocre, 8-8, 7-9. Next, we have Mitch Trubisky. Really had a poor year last year. I'm going to rank him as a below-average quarterback. Really needs to see improvement next year. He's on the hot seat. If they don't, the Bears are going to draft the quarterback, and there's going to be a quarterback controversy for OTAs. So I feel like Mitch Trubisky is a below-average quarterback. He needs to see improvement in his third year in the league. Next, we have Daniel Jones. I'm going to put him as unproven as well. Eli Manning and him split playing time. I feel like Daniel Jones did well as a player, but he definitely has stuff to prove on being a rookie now in his second year. I think that he could see a big improvement. I think he could get up to solid options. Next, we have Josh Allen. I'm going to put Josh Allen as a playoff caliber quarterback. Led the Bills to their first playoff game since 2017, and had the lead 16-0 over the Texans, and then floundered. I think Josh Allen, though, is a playoff caliber quarterback. Next, we have Carson Wentz. I think Carson Wentz is a solid option, borderline playoff caliber, but he needs to stop getting hurt. His injuries are his biggest problem. He seems to be hurting the team a lot. But I think with the lack of talent, I think he's a playoff caliber quarterback. I think he's a good quarterback. Needs more talent around him. Needs to, get rid of the injury bug. I think he's going to be a playoff caliber quarterback. Next, we have Jacoby Brissett. I'm going to put him as a solid option. He did okay for the Colts. Led them to 7-9, 8-8, which is okay, but he should have done better with the division that he was in, the teams that they played. But I think he's a solid option for them. Next, we have Jared Goff. I'm going to put Jared Goff as a solid option that needs to see improvement before I bring him to the below average category. I feel like he has a lot of potential, surrounded by a good team with a good defense, but he just needs to play better as a quarterback. Stop throwing interceptions, stop throwing checkdowns, let the ball fly like he did in 2018. I think he's a solid option. Next, we have Drew Lock. He is going to go in the unproven category. Don't know much about him right now. He played well last season for the Broncos. Was really a spark for their team after Case Keenum and Joe Flacco failed to do that. I think he's a young guy. I think if the Broncos surround him with talent and he does even better in his second season, I think he could be a solid option for them. Next, I have Lamar Jackson. I'm going to put Lamar Jackson as a Pro Bowl quarterback, unanimous MVP, starter at the Pro Bowl for the AFC. I think he's a good player. I'm going to be interested to see how he does next season in his third year. We could see a recession like Patrick Mahomes did, but I could also see him winning the Super Bowl, so we don't know. Gardner Minshew really came out of nowhere. If I wouldn't put him in unproven, I would have put him in solid options. I'm going to put him in unproven. Needed to see more from him. Did really well for the timetables he was given. Not supposed to be starting at all. Foles got injured. He had to step up and really stepped up for him. So I think he's unproven. If he does well next season, I think he's going to be a solid option for them for years to come. Next, we have Ryan Fitzpatrick. Fitzmagic. I'm going to put him as a below average quarterback. But because of the team he was playing on, he was definitely a playoff caliber quarterback for them. He did really well, was a spark plug for them, led them to many wins, but I still think in the NFL he is a below average quarterback. I think that teams would rather want the quarterbacks solid options and above than Ryan Fitzpatrick. So I'm going to put Ryan Fitzpatrick in the below average category. Next, I have Deshaun Watson. I'm going to put him in the Pro Bowl category. Was the backup to Lamar Jackson in the Pro Bowl. Really good player. Led the Texans to the AFC divisional round where they lost to the Chiefs after being ahead 24-0, 24-3. So I feel like Deshaun Watson is a Pro Bowl quarterback. Next we have Drew Brees. I'm going to put Drew Brees as an elite player. His career proves it. He still is going strong. Probably his last year with the Saints, so he really wants to end out on a bang after 3 back-to-back heartbreaking losses in the playoffs for the Saints. Next, we have Ben Roethlisberger. I'm going to put him as a solid option based on the past seasons that he's had. Led the league in passing yards. I think he's going to try to get back from his injury and really help the Steelers. I think he may propel them to a 7th or 6th seed in the playoffs. I think he's playoff caliber, but for now I'm going to put him in solid options because of his injury. Next, we have Dak Prescott. He is a playoff caliber quarterback. Really good player. The Cowboys should re-sign him. He's a good player for them. I think he can lead them to the playoffs. Next, we have Cam Newton. I'm going to put Cam Newton as a below average quarterback for now. I could see him in the solid options or below average. It really depends on team he goes to. I think that if they surround him with talent, I think Cam Newton will be a good quarterback for them. Next, we have Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan I'm going to do as a solid option. He's a good quarterback, really should be going to the playoffs, but they have a poor team around them, even with Julio Jones, Devontae Parker. But I think that Matt Ryan is a good player. I think he could be in the playoff caliber category, but for now I'm going to put him in solid options. Next, we have Ryan Tannehill. Solid options. All they need basically is someone to hand the ball off to Derrick Henry. And I think Ryan Tannehill provides that. Ryan Tannehill can also step up in the pocket and throw a good ball downfield from the seam. I think he is a solid option. Next, Kyler Murray. I think he could be unproven, but I'm going to put him in the solid options. Did well for the Arizona Cardinals. They get DeAndre Hopkins. I think that's going to be a force to be reckoned with on offense. I think Kyler Murray is a solid option for them. Next, we got Russell Wilson. Put him in the Pro Bowl category. Finished second in the MVP voting to Lamar Jackson. Really good player. Super Bowl winner. He's a good player, very good player for the Seattle Seahawks. Next, we got Patrick Mahomes. I'm going to put him in the elite category. already won an MVP, already won a Super Bowl, really good player, an elite player for the Chiefs. Lastly, Marcus Mariota. I'm going to put Marcus Mariota in the below average category. We have to see what he does with the Las Vegas Raiders, but I think he's a below average quarterback. So, yeah. So thank you guys for watching. Remember to leave a like, subscribe on the channel, watch my previous videos. Really helps me a lot. Thank you all for so much. Thank you for 100 subscribers. This is my list for the top quarterbacks going into 2020. I know I left off a few backups. This is the list I'm going to do. For my elites, I got Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, Patrick Mahomes, Pro Bowl, Lamar Jackson, Deshaun Watson, Russell Wilson, playoff caliber, Garoppolo, Cousins, Allen, Wentz, and Prescott. For solid options, I got Phillip Rivers, Baker Mayfield, Tom Brady, Nick Foles, Matt Stafford, Jacoby Brissett, Jared Goff, Matt Ryan, Ryan Tannehill, Ben Roethlisberger, Kyler Murray, Teddy Bridgewater, Hodges, and then below average, we got Hodges, we got Winston, we got Manning, we got Keenum, we got Darnold, we got Carr, we got Trubisky, we got Fitzmagic, we got Newton, we got Mariota, and then the terrible, we got Rudolph, Flacco, and then the unproven, we got Dwayne Haskins, Kyle Allen, Drew Lock, Gardner Minshew. I think that this is a solid list. Let me know in the comments below. Give me suggestions for videos. Tell me if you want to move the quarterback to a different place. And also comment below your favorite NFL team. I kind of want to know the graphics on the favorite NFL team of my subscribers and viewers. Thank you guys for watching Sports Television, and stay safe.